What's up, my folks? Can y'all read that? There's so much truth to that in these dogs. Just think about that now. Alright, folks, I want to ask y'all something. I want to ask a favor of some of y'all. First favor I want to ask you guys is for the smarter guys in the group, and I know we got to have some people with something to do with law and understand law. I want you guys, one of you guys, please look up the animal pack bill they're trying to pass through, and study that and see what that's about. I'm thinking that can turn into something bad. Trying to go through it and read it, and somebody pretty intelligent, and try to figure out what it is, because that can turn into something bad for us as dog people. They're portraying it as just for like crush videos and stuff like that, which is fine. No one needs to do that sick shit anyway. But it can turn into something different. I mean, it can turn into where, as a breeder, if you call your own dog, you could go to prison for 7 years for a federal crime or some shit. So if y'all could research that for me and get back with me and email me, I'll leave my email information, and tell me what this bill entails to you. You read it and see what you think, somebody that's got some experience in law. And that'd be great. You'd be doing the whole fraternity a favor kind of going over this, because they're fixing to put this bill on the desk, and it can, laws they can really get you with these laws, passing these little sneaky bills. That's what they do. They slide shit in these bills. Okay, and the other favor I want to ask is my folks that got the t-shirts. I know there's 4 of you guys that have bought t-shirts from me, and I was going to go ahead and mail them in. I thought I had saved everybody, but if you bought a t-shirt from me and used the PayPal, I see where the money has been put in the PayPal, but I can't find the addresses, and there's literally, I've been spending like I just spent an hour messing around these emails, and I get sidetracked answering questions and talking to people and stuff like that. Your emails are getting lost in there. Please email me again, your address, the size, and just put t-shirts. I know there's like 3 larges and a double X, I think. But anyway, y'all go ahead and get that to me, and that's enough for me to make that hour trip down there in the line and all that, send them out. So go ahead and do that to me so I can get them bagged up. I was going to do that this afternoon, but I literally cannot find y'all's damn addresses. So appreciate it if you get that for me. Let's talk about these Staffordshires now. Okay, what I'm going to share y'all is actually one of the pages on the flyer I'm having made up. I just got to find an affordable way to do it. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and read this one to you for the public, because there's been some stuff said about, the breeding and how it was made and all this stuff and all. And we all have our theories. I don't think everyone knows 100% sure of where it come from before it got to the Americas. But pretty much since it's been in America, it's been classified as 2 different breeds, like the show breed and the pit breed. And that's just pretty much the way it is. The American Pit Bull Terrier's always been the American Pit Bull Terrier. Back in the 50s and the 60s and the 70s, they didn't breed staffs and pit bulls together and all that like people want to make you believe, okay? Now, it was UKC paperwork on these dogs, but they were classed in 2 different breeds, okay? I'm going to give you an example. This is from the old Pete Sparks magazine, Your Friend and Mine. And he had a stud dog down off this dog here. Let me read you the article. Here's the stud advertisement. Purple ribbon text at Elmhurst, 46 pounds, at stud, $20. Okay? And here's Pete responding to some flack he was getting from fraternity members saying he had show dogs in his pit dogs' pedigrees. Okay, in the pedigree of Tudor's Frito, which the editors owned and bred quite extensively until his death over a year ago, his dame, Tudor's Dinah, is showing to be sired by Tex of Elmhurst. Howard Heinzel once wrote the editor and explained how this man came to him with this beautiful dog and wanted to breed him to one of Heinzel's bitches, this bringing about the litter with Dinah in it. Several fanciers, well, a few at least, oh well, yes, maybe only a couple come to think of it, has said that Tex to Elmhurst was a show dog, judging by the name, no doubt. It just so happens that Tex Elmhurst was owned by a man who lived on Elmer Street, and apparently that is where the dog got his highfalutin name. After having to listen to these accusations of Tex being a show dog for a few years now, we finally sent off to UKC and got the 7th-generation pedigree on Tex of Elmhurst. And we have it published on the last page of this issue. In order that one and all might see the true breeding on this dog looks like, the advertisement shown at the top of this column was in the Bloodlines Journal for August 1941. To those of you who like to study pedigrees, this one is like a masterpiece. Notice the Colby dogs blended in with a tutor to bred dogs, many of which in themselves were descendants directly from Colby dogs. Notice the close inbreeding or line breeding, if you care to call it that. Red Phantom back to his daughter to produce Tex. Note the great number of black dogs in the background. Also, how many red dogs, most of great renown. Okay? And he laid the pedigree out on the pet like he said he was going to do. And the dog went all back into the old stuff. I mean, from the Blackjack Swift dogs to the, you know, the Colby's Max, the Molly. All old Colby blood. All old blood like Irish blood, you know. All pit dogs. No showbred dogs, okay? I'm going to show you another little article that kind of instills my point a little better. Alright, here's an article where he was going back and forth with the editor of the Staffordshire Bull Terrier Club. They had a little magazine, and he was wondering if they could, you know, go over into the Pitbull Terrier Club with their magazine, you know, and have advertisements and all. And basically, the guy said, no, this is a Staffordshire Bull Terrier Club, not a Pitbull Terrier Club. And there's no interaction between the two. They didn't want interaction. This was in 1935 when this club was launched. So, anyway, he goes on to talk about some of the views they had. And here it is, he's talking about, in a recent issue of their publication, Steve Stone expounded in quite some length the subject of color breeding. The editor of Pick Dogs had to jump up and down and beat his fist on the desk, figuratively speaking, of course. But when he read this article and wrote Steve Stone, no, 1,000 times no. Among other things Steve wrote is that there are only two colors in Staffordshire, brindle and red. All the other colors listed in that standard of the breed are just merely variations of these two, brindle and red. White, he claims, is not a color but an absence of color. He goes on to write that all white mated to all white will produce only all white puppies. Then he adds insult to injury by writing that red mated to red will produce only all red puppies with an occasional all white puppy. This was when the old man on the mountain really blew his top. After breeding these dogs for 40 years, to have someone come along and assert this, though as it was gospel truth, was just a little more than the old man could swallow. How many times we mated a red to a red and got some blacks and some brindles along with the reds. Bucky, the son of Tudor's Jeff, is a good example. He has red on his sire's side, way back on his dame's side. Hemphill red-nosed breeding, fairly well established red in color on that side too. But recently when we mated a brindle bitch, almost all were brindle. Later bred to a red bitch, some blacks appeared. When bred to a red bitch sired by Frida, who too was red, comes all red litter, excepting one which was brindle. And Bucky has never sired an all-white puppy. Of course, Steve Stone is writing about color in Staffordshire Bull Terriers, and the old man on the mountain is drawing his in 40 years experience with the American Pit Bull Terrier, but the same Mendel's theory of hereditary is in effect, whether it be the British version of the breed or the American. It's not my opinion, it's how it just was, okay? I'm not giving you my opinion on it. I'm just telling you how it really was. Now there's a good example of an old-looking blooded bulldog. He just looks like the old shit. He's from out of the old shit, but that's a good example. And I want to tell you guys again, I'm sorry if I hadn't been getting back to y'all real easy lately like I normally do. I've just been very, very busy. We've had a lot of floods. My house piers falling down, you name it. For 3 weeks, it's been one thing after another. So it's not that I'm avoiding anybody or I don't care, because I appreciate every one of you guys, okay? I want y'all to know that. And you guys take care and keep on bulldogging. And like I said, you guys that's got the did the PayPal thing with me, send me your addresses again so I don't have to spend all night looking through them damn emails. And if you email me something important that you really need me, just keep hitting me back. I'll give you my number. Tell me you need me, give you my number. All right, y'all, take care and keep on bulldogging.